How's it going, everybody? Today I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this 70s classic vibe Squire jazz bass. I'm going to tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and of course I'm going to show you how it sounds. Today I'm playing through my Fender Rumble 40 amp. I don't know if you can see that or not, but all the EQs are set to 12 o'clock and all the effects are turned all the way off just so you can hear exactly what this bass sounds like. Starting of course with the things that I love about this bass, one of the best things about it is that it's relatively affordable. You can buy one of these for about $450, so it's not the cheapest bass you can buy, but it's also certainly not the most expensive bass you can buy, which is going to be the perfect price for most of us casual basses. One of the most important things to look for when you're buying a bass or a guitar is just how it feels when you play it. Some basses are just gonna feel a little better than others. Generally, the more expensive basses will just feel a little bit nicer. And by just the overall feel, I mean really just how it plays. When you slide your fingers around the fretboard, when you fret a note, when you pluck a note, or when you pick a note, how does that feel? Is it just like, you just want it to feel very natural and just very, very good to play, very nice to play. And this bass certainly does that, at least to my standards, it does that very well. It just kind of plays, it just feels really, really nice. The neck and fretboard also do have this like polish on them. I don't know exactly what that's called, but that is certainly going to affect the feel of the bass as well, because that's gonna change how your hand slides on the neck and how your fingers slide over the fretboard. My other bass right back here, if you can kind of see that, doesn't have any of the polish on either the neck or the fretboard, and that feels very different than this bass. I can't say that I prefer one or the other, they're just both different, and I like them both. As you already heard just a little bit at the beginning of this video, and as you're going to hear a bit more of in a moment, this bass sounds pretty darn good. It sounds like a jazz bass, as it should, because it is one. If you go all the way up to the bridge pickup, only the bridge pickup on, you get a very, very bright sound, very sharp, punchy sound. If you go all the way up on the neck pickup, then you get a very deep, low, just powerful sound. Sounds very, very nice. And of course you can turn both of them all the way on for a mix between the two. You also have a little tone knob down here that doesn't do a ton. I mean, that's kind of expected for a tone knob, I guess, but it's most noticeable if you play with a pick. It really, really opens up the higher frequencies of this bass, especially if you turn up the bridge pickup. You get a very, very bright sound, and I really like that sound, so I generally leave that almost all the way up, if not all the way up, all the time, because it just sounds pretty sick. Also, let's just take a moment to appreciate how incredible this bass looks. It is just such a beautiful instrument. Like, everything about it is just, it's a gorgeous bass. Even the back of it, the whole sunburst continues on the back side of the body. It's so cool, so cool. I love it. Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about the things that I dislike about this bass, which there aren't many, but there are still a few. Probably the biggest of those things is that the quality of this whole bass is kind of inconsistent. Some places it feels incredible and it feels super high quality, and in other places, kind of like the knobs that fall off occasionally and just aren't held on very well. That little set screw doesn't have a place to stick into. Yes, I've tightened them all, but they still fall off, they get loose, they're just kind of stuck on with some sticky stuff, and that's not real nice. I have also played a few different Squire basses, much like this one. Some of them were the exact same bass, just a different instrument obviously, and some of them just feel different in different ways, and some of those just feel a little worse quality in some places. Like some of them, the tuning heads feel awful, mine feel pretty good. Other ones, just like the whole build quality of everything just feels a little bit lacking. Of course, it's not a super expensive bass, so you can't expect it to feel super expensive, but you want it to feel pretty nice. I mean, it's not the cheapest bass in the world either, so it should feel pretty good. Overall, I'd say the quality is pretty nice, but there's just a few different places and on a few different basses that I've tried. Another thing that I dislike about this bass is how much noise you get from the strings. When I got the bass, I had to do at least an attempt at setting it up right with adjusting the truss rod and adjusting the action also done here. I think that's how you're supposed to do it. I watched a YouTube video on it once and then I kind of figured it out from there. So I had to set that up because right when I got it, the fret buzz was just, it was unplayable right when I got it, but I knew that I could fix that, so I got it anyways. But even after that, just the amount of like clanking and clacking that happens when you're playing, especially if you're trying to play something a little bit faster, that kind of annoys me. Of course, when you're playing it through a speaker, if you're playing with some friends or you're playing in a band, then you're not going to hear that at all. It's just something that you're going to hear when you're practicing. You know, you're sitting in a setting like this in your room, you're just practicing a bit. There's just a lot of noise from the fretboard, which I don't love, but of course it's not the end of the world. With that said, I do think this is an incredible bass, and I would certainly recommend it to anyone really looking to buy a bass around this budget. When I was looking to buy this one, I played quite a few around that price range, and this one just instantly felt the best. It was just my instant favorite as soon as I sat down with it. So it's a great bass. I love it. If you want to know more about it, I'll put a link in the description to where you can check it out if you're interested. And if you're still undecided, keep watching this video because we're going to continue a little demo of how this thing sounds, just so you can get a better idea of exactly what this bass sounds like. So enjoy.